I went shopping and I'm about to show you what I got. Hi friends, it's makeup artist Sephora. Welcome back to my YouTube. So I went to Sephora, and to be honest, I'm not usually in Sephora much because one, I know if I go in there, there's no saving me. There's no return from that. Like once you're in, it's happening. Items will be bought. I'm a sucker for makeup. I actually prefer shopping online for makeup because I get a pro discount on a lot of the brands found in Sephora. So it's just easier to shop for the professional products. They're more inexpensive when I have to buy multiples of certain items. However, there are some items that are exclusive to Sephora that I wanted to kind of test the waters with, if you will. Also, aside from that, it's just convenient to walk into Sephora and walk out with the items right then and there. I also like to go into Sephora to shade match and test different colors because online that can be hard to see. I thought this would be fun to share with you because in my day-to-day encounters with clients, I see that a lot of women will feel very overwhelmed in a beauty store. I am very particular with my products. I really feel for consistency. I've been doing makeup for 9 years, so I kind of tested the waters of makeup, but technology is always changing, and I love staying up on trends and new formulas and just new innovative products from new innovative brands. It's something that made me fall in love with makeup. It's kind of like remembering your first love and you fell in love with them. It's like you go in and you get those butterflies again when you're reaching for new products and exploring colors and textures and all that, and it really is something that lights me up. With that being said, when people ask me what I look for in products, a lot of it is intuitive. I know it's strange to say that, but let's relate it to paints. If you're working with certain mediums, watercolors, paint textures, you understand the consistencies, the textures. So what you're grabbing for and what you're using and how much water you're adding to it is intuitive. So the same thing is kind of my approach when I'm shopping for makeup. If I swipe something and I see that it's not slick on the hands or it is super slick on the hands, depending on what it is, that's what I'll grab towards. So I'm gonna explain some of my picks from this shopping trip that I'm so excited to share. It's been such a long time, like I said, since I purchased stuff from Sephora, and I bought a pretty nice chunk of stuff. I also want to disclaim that I bought this stuff about 1 or 2 weeks ago, so I have opened many of the things and tried them on clients so that I can give you my feedback, but I did put them back in the packaging just because I know I love a good packaging. I love seeing what it looks like. Without further ado, let's get on to what I got. I am going to do a semi get ready with me right now. I did buy some skincare, so we're gonna test the skincare together, and I'm gonna go in order of how they are applied on the face, so let's do it. Hello and welcome back to my face. I actually did go into Sephora for some personal items for like my everyday makeup, and one of the items that I needed was a cleanser. When I was in the skincare aisle, I also noticed one of my favorite products, which is the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. They actually came out with a limited edition bottle that's pink, and you know, anything pink, I love that. And I was so tempted to buy that one, but that bottle alone was $50. So this is the value set, and you get a cleanser, you get the beauty elixir, and this is like a skin mattifying primer fluid. I personally have dry skin, so I'm going to use that on clients. If you don't know what the beauty elixir is, it's basically a setting spray, but it's in a super sleek glass bottle. It smells like a spa. It makes your skin tingle, like it wakes it up, so you could spray it on your skin before or after. It's so lightweight, it's hydrating, it sets the makeup, it does it all. If you're interested in getting it, totally go for the value pack because it comes with the cleanser and the mattifier. I'm gonna go try this cleanser right now. This is like a foaming cleanser. Okay, so I'm nice and cleansed right now. It actually smells like cucumbers to me. I do think that this is a very gentle cleanser. As you can see, this is my skin by itself, so I don't really need anything too harsh. So if that's you, you just need an everyday cleanser, totally, why not? One of the next items I got was a moisturizer, and while I love the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream, I had to try this solely based on the packaging. It's called Tarte Baba Balm Moisturizer. So in my work, it is vital to stay sanitary. A lot of people don't realize that when you dip your finger into moisturizer, it's not the most sanitary due to like the residue under your nails. You know, you have to make sure that you already hand sanitized in that moment. So this packaging was awesome. So it's basically you pump it and it comes out like this. So I usually take a wet one and just wipe the top of it. Aside from the packaging, this is my new go-to prep for clients. It's the perfect under makeup base. What I look for in a moisturizer for clients is something that, I've said this before and I'm sure you've heard it from other makeup artists, but the word is emollient, and basically what it means is that it glides. Your fingers should glide across your skin after you have applied it, while you're applying it. Like, it should just keep moving. Why? It's because the makeup's gonna glide with that, and it will also sink into the skin really beautifully. I freaking love moisturizer. Like, my one favorite product is moisturizer. So now I'm gonna spray my beauty elixir to wake up the skin. I also love that this sprays out like a fine mist. I used my beauty points, and I also got some of these Caudalie serums, and I think these are super hydrating too. So I'll put that under my eyes. I think all of Caudalie's products smell like a spa. Another skincare item I picked up called Sunday Riley Luna Sleeping Night Oil. The reason I wanted to get this was because I worked with a model on set who was raving about this. Every skin is very individual, so I always like to try things before I make the judgment, but I have worked with this model multiple times, so I kind of trusted her opinion. I know that this specific model had some skin trouble, so the fact that she really liked this oil, I wanted to try it. And I have to say, I don't have problematic skin, but I do have some areas of concern, such as my pores are getting a little bigger with aging. I could see a little bit more lines, and I just felt like my skin has been getting duller. Well, I am so happy with the way my skin is looking on camera. Like, there have been times where I have no makeup, and I feel like this oil, whatever it's doing, is making my skin look so much better, bare on its own, naked skin. It's been doing everything it's claiming. If you're looking for something to add into your routine to give your skin some life, help it even out, try this out. The best thing about Sephora is that you can get samples of all these things, and this also smells like essential oil, so I love a good scent. That is all the skincare that I got this trip. Right, for foundation, so I ran out of my NARS Everyday Radiance foundation, so I was just looking for something similar to that to use on an everyday basis. So after swatching a lot of things, it was between this one and the Beauty Blender foundation. I do love my IT Cosmetics CC cream. That's another great choice if you're shopping around for an everyday foundation. But this was the one I went with, and it is the Tarte Multitasking Found Sealer. I actually have heard nothing about this foundation prior to buying it. I do love the convenience of the pump. I do like applying this foundation with a flat foundation brush. I just find that it goes on better, so I'm just gonna take a pump of that. So what I love about this foundation that drew me to buying it was that it had that dewy radiance look, and it wasn't too heavy. It still had a natural skin finish, which is what I love for an everyday foundation. I was going to get the Beauty Blender foundation. I think that's one I will try next, but the reason I didn't get it was because it was more fuller coverage. But I did like that it was full coverage with a skin-like finish still. I have not blended this down my neck, and do you see that match? I thought the match on this was incredible. And usually I do go for a more yellow based foundation. This was the Fair Neutral, and it doesn't pull too, like some neutrals, they pull very, not pink, but like almost orange. This one was so on point. So this is it, just by itself. It literally looks like skin. It's radiant, it looks hydrated. I have dry skin, so that's what I like to go for. But other than that, this is what it looks like on its own. For concealer, I discovered this brand in there that I've never heard of. I love everything from it. I don't know their story, but I'm excited to read more about it. So 2 items that I got from the brand, it's called Kaja or Kaha, I don't know. I'm gonna say Kaja, depending on where this brand is from. I actually picked up 6 products from this brand because I was just blown away by everything I was swatching, and I almost bought their primer mousse. I thought that was incredible. So one of them is their concealer, and I bought the shade 3 Mooncake, and I also bought this concealer corrector brightener in the shade Woke. How freaking adorable is that? This is what they look like. This is the shade Woke, which is coming up on camera way brighter. It is that nice peachy tone, and then this is the concealer color I went with. For everyday concealers, I don't go for ones that are whiter than my eyes. I go for ones that are similar to my skin tone. I'm going to put a little bit of the Woke brightener on my under eye vein, so you can see how that kind of just neutralizes my vein. And then we'll do a little bit of this guy. Yeah, see, number 3 is the perfect shade. I'm gonna put this on my eyeballs too. I mean, seriously, look at that. Are we joking? See, this is why I had to get this stuff. I could just tell in the store that it was gonna perform. And it still looks like skin. Like, it doesn't look like cakey, artificial, plastic. Sometimes I can't explain why I'm gravitated towards something, but if you have eyes and you can understand why, thank you for bearing with me. The next item that I picked up was the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Powder in Banana. I personally would have liked to get the translucent powder, so this does pull a little bit yellow. I'm going to use a really fine amount rather than bake with it, because baking could tint my skin a little yellow. So you'll see it has the yellow undertone. Why I didn't get the translucent or the first number colored powder was because they were sold out of it. So what I'm going to do instead is take a brush like this that's nice and soft, dip it in, tap it off, lightly put whatever's left on the brush on there to set everything in. I've been using this powder to set my clients. I forgot to cover my burn. Anyway, I've been using this powder. I totally love it. I think it blurs the pores and sets the makeup really, really well. And you really don't need a lot of it, that's the thing. It's actually a pretty unique powder, I have to say, from what's on the market. It's very silky and finely milled, so it doesn't add another layer of texture, if that makes sense. You could bake with this. I'm personally not going to, because like I said, I don't want to tint my skin. Really, really enjoying that. So if you need a new powder, check that dish out. I didn't get a contour shade, so I'll probably just contour with something from my everyday makeup bag. I did pick up a blush from Kaja in the shade Atmosphere number 2. I thought this would be really great for a good range of skin tones. This is the color. It's very like a natural flush, and it's a cream consistency, but I've been using it with natural hair brushes and it applies really nicely. So for example, something like this, I've been applying on clients as if it was a powder. So even though I just set my face so lightly, I'm going to still go in with this blush. Now you could do it this way, or you could go in right with your finger and just tap it on. But I'm using a light hand and diffusing it with the brush because I'm obviously a more fair skin tone. So that's what's great about this, is you could build it. If you were more of a tan skin tone, you could go in with a more heavy hand. But I'm just looking for like a light flush of pink, basically. Such a good tone. I would have gotten more tones of this, but I did want to try out this brand before I went in and got all of them. Sorry, I was just blocking the camera. The next item that I got was the Fenty Beauty Bombay Mini Lip and Face Set Ensemble. I actually grabbed the lip gloss before I saw the duo, and again wanted to try it out, and it was cheaper to get the smaller sizes, and I do really love both of these. Hustler Baby is this beautiful golden highlighter. Just has this beautiful glow and sheen. It's that like wet look, so I would use that on my eyes even. But I'm just gonna use a light hand right over my cheekbones for that glowy hoey look, you know? So a light hand won't pull super golden. It'll still leave that like wet look, you know? That's what I like about this. Oh, and I'm going over my eyelids too. That's what I like about this highlighter. It's this one specifically. I know some of the other ones are a little bit more chunky and glittery. This gives that wet but glowy look. You're not gonna blind anybody, you're just gonna look really fresh. So I didn't get anything for contour, so I'm just gonna do that quickly. I'm just gonna contour with my contour kit. I really just love how these products have been performing. I even took a little more concealer and put it over that burn that I had on my forehead, and it just covered beautifully and still looks like skin. So happy with everything I got so far. Oh, I did also get this Beauty Blender Power Pocket Puff, which is basically a powder puff that you can reuse. I haven't used it yet. Of course, I'm not gonna do that with the Fenty powder because it is a little bit yellow. For eyebrows, I did pick up another Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in Taupe. This is my go-to brow pencil. This is a kit staple. So I'm just gonna fill in my brows with this quickly. I personally love this brow pencil because you can draw in tiny strokes so it looks like it's part of you. As far as eyes, I was intending to get a new palette, but this brand totally stole my heart. The Kaja, I hope it's Kaja. They have these trios, and they also have not an eye base, but it's a sparkling eye pigment. So this one is called Moon Crystal, and I got it in the shade 02 Luminary Astray. So it's like a moon dust champagne eye pigment. When you put something like this, I mean, you could use that as a liquid highlight under your eyeshadow, it's going to add this beautiful texture. I mean, you could totally wear this alone and sheer it out, but when you put it on as a base, just on the eyelid, not on the crease, it's gonna add this amazing dimension. So I could even tap that like a little bit over that highlight just to enforce that wet look. Why not? This kind of reminds me of Giorgio Armani Eyes to Kill, I think it's called. It's like the eye tint. The two trios I got are in 03 Toasted Caramel and 08 Chocolate Delilah. So check this out. It's a trio, but they don't detach. So I think this is perfect for a woman on the go who needs one item to take in her makeup bag. It's not a huge palette. It doesn't have colors you won't use. It's just the 3 intended everyday makeup looks. So I'm going to use today from Chocolate Delilah these tones because it's kind of that champagne shimmer, a more neutral tone brown, and then a deeper tone chocolate brown. The other one is a little bit more playful, more sparkly. I wouldn't consider this one a complete package. It does have beautiful tones, but they are, like, this is a gold shimmer. This is another golden brown shimmer. And then this is a more coppery brown, I would say. So while they are beautiful, this isn't like a one-stop shop trio, but look how easy that is to hold in your makeup bag. And I'm just gonna dip my finger into the first shade, Crushed Pearl, right over top. So you'll see this dimension, which is so pretty for video or photo shoots where it's just that beautiful sheen on the eyelid. It's just that dreamy summer wet eye look. Second eyeshadow, and I love the consistency of these shadows. They're very soft, they blend, they're good tones. I'm so happy that I found this brand. And then that's gonna go on the lower lash line too. Lastly, I'm going to take Brown Sugar. I did pick up an eyeliner. I did pick up the Kat Von D tattoo liner, but because I want to keep this look more everyday, I'm going to show you another liner that I didn't pick up during this trip, but that I do love so very much, and it is the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Limitless Brown. This is a beautiful eyeliner pencil for the top of the eye, so I'm just going to draw a line. Brown liners are just more soft. So because I'm doing a more everyday kind of look, I want it to pop my blue eyes. This liner is the perfect chocolate brown. Another thing that I always do in my routine, I would like to add a little bit of coverage right in this area with a powdered foundation. This is another great product from Sephora that I didn't pick up on this trip, but that I really love, and it is the Makeup Forever Pro Finish Powdered Foundation, which is basically like a tinted powder. So this is just gonna add a little bit more coverage in these areas. So So just applied that in the T-zone area, and you'll see that it kind of smooths and diffuses that area, adding coverage and just still keeping it looking like skin, which is what I love. So next, I didn't buy a new mascara, but this one is sold at Sephora. It is the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. It's one of my favorites. This mascara gives false fibers to the lashes. I feel like they've changed their formula. I could be wrong, but I've noticed now, like later in the day, I feel the fibers on my eyes. It's kind of itchy, but they really do make my lashes look incredible. So for lips, I of course have the Fenty Beauty Gloss, but I also picked up this mini Pat McGrath Trio lipstick in the version Skin Show, and it's basically 3 different nudes. The shades are 1995, Omi, and Flesh 3. 1995 looks like this, which is a more mauve nude. I've been dying to try Pat McGrath's stuff. This is Omi, which is a more rose nude. That would probably suit my skin tone a little bit better. The other ones I feel like are more tan to deep. And then this one is Flesh 3, which is like almost a terracotta deep nude. All stunning. I've been using these on clients. I think they're so rich and pigmented and beautiful, and I'm really happy with them. And I like that they come in the small size because it really does take a lot to go through them. But for now, I'm just gonna use the Fenty Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow because I'm not a big lipstick girl as is. I'm gonna take a disposable and we will apply. This is my first time using this. I have used it on clients, but I don't know what it's like, so let's see. Oh my God, that smells so good. This is one of those lipsticks that I will buy, glosses, that I will buy again and again because it's so like buttery when it's on. It's not sticky, but it's thick enough where it has some pigment, thick enough where you feel like it's not gonna move, but it gives the lips a nice tint. This is it by itself. So typically this is the point where I set my face, and I could use the Beauty Elixir, but I'm actually going to use something that's not from Sephora if you don't mind. The MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus in the watermelon scent, because this ish smells like a Jolly Rancher. Oh my God, Fix Plus as it is has been a ride or die for like years. That just adds that luminous skin finish. It looks dewy, natural. I mean, I could spray this on top of it as well. That just gets rid of that like powdery look, and now we're back to that natural, radiant everyday makeup. If I want to go back in and reinforce some things, this is the time where I do that. So I am just gonna add a touch more blush. So that completes this get ready with me with all of my new Sephora products. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found some new items that you can incorporate into your kit or everyday makeup bag. Leave me a comment of what you thought, what you're thinking of buying. Did anything intrigue you? Did anything surprise you? Is there something that you're still looking for that you need help with? Let me know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up. I love you, and I will see you in the next video.